We all know that people have different personalities, but do we know to what extent this can impact marital relationships? And perhaps more controversially, there are gender differences which can also impact marriage. Joining us to discuss this is Brent Taylor. He is a Lethbridge marriage coach and the author of His and Hers Greatest Need. Brent, welcome to BCN. So great to have you back.
Thanks, Naveen. It's great to be here and great to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Now, Brent, first of all, can you briefly share a bit about what you do to help couples improve their relationships?
Well, I would say there's a few different things, but one of them is to truly understand each other as best as they can, to give them that insight. You truly understand someone when they understand that you understand them. And so I share with them the insight in a very broad and deep level, probably more than most. There's a lot of different tools and insights and things that I use to help them understand each other. And then I help to inspire them. I coached hockey for 13 years, and I realized inspiration precedes perspiration.
Hmm.
So I help to inspire them and help them to really understand the motive is the key to everything. I had a large manufacturing company, and people knew what to do and how to do it. That's very important. And most men are about how to do something, but there's no motive behind the how. There's no passion behind the how. It's process based. And men tend to be more that way. But the key is getting to the heart. So when we have inspiration at the heart level, then that fuels the power that's needed to really work on the hows and the whats. So I help people say, what do you do? I help get to their heart. I help get to their wanna button. I help them want to love one another.
It's interesting what you said about how men are very process oriented because it seems like a lot of us guys, when we see a problem, we approach it like a problem with our car. Like when your car is broken, find the problem, order the part, install the part, car fix. And you can't really do that with your spouse. Like, oh, wife broken, discover problem, order part, order flowers, wife fixed. You can't really do that, can you?
Not like that. Yes, we can, because what we give is what she receives. And she was designed to receive a certain character, a certain trait, a certain love, if you will. And that's why there's 14 elements in the definition of love, which is a wedding vow. There's 14. So I encourage men to learn each one of those 14. When you realize it's actually who you were designed to be, it's your nature to be that way. And you realize the gift that you're going to get, not because you want to get anything from your wife, but the joy you're going to have inside by seeing your wife shine is going to be worth it. And so, love is patient, love is kind, it's content, it's not boastful, it's forgiving, it's honest. There's a whole variety of things. So when men realize this is what their wife is looking for to receive that, because the woman is a crowning jewel of beauty and creation. They're the greatest team between two human beings. But when she shines, that's when men are happy. And that old saying, happy wife, happy life. Don't say that with a tongue in cheek. It's actually true. The man was actually designed to give love to his wife, and she was designed to receive it. And when she receives it, she shines. So when she's not really shining, she's kind of like a multiplier. There's a speaker that says, you give her a seed, she gives you a baby. You give her a house, she gives you a home. You give her food, she gives you a meal. You give her frustration, what is she going to give you? It's when you give her love, what is she going to shine with? So men don't realize that they are actually the initiator of loving unity. They just need to learn what that love looks like and practice it in a way that she can receive, and you'll be filled with joy because she is shining.
I really like what you said there about how like whatever you give women, your wife will grow. Like and whatever you sow, you'll reap, and you'll reap multiple fold. Now, what kind of feedback are you getting from those who have read your book, taken some classes, and watched the videos?
Well, from those that have read the book that are married, they said it saved their marriage. Uh, and my video, I did a talk at the Yates Theater about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and one of the men was listening to my ad on the radio, and he went actually to my website, found the 17-minute video, and he went to his wife, and they were really struggling, 15 years of marriage, and he said, can we watch this? And interestingly enough, so she ordered the video and the book. She couldn't find the link. I called her. She did wind up getting the link, and when I called her, she said her and her husband watched it together. She said it was amazing. And the interesting part was she was actually going to walk out the door that day. It was a Sunday, and they watched the video that day, and they said, we're going to watch it for the next couple of months every Sunday together. The video is very profound. It's very simple. It's diagram friendly. It's easy to understand. It's 17 minutes. So numerous people have watched it. A couple in Ontario, they said, Brent, this isn't worth $29 because that's all it costs. It's worth thousands of dollars. We watched it twice in one weekend, and it blew our mind.
Amazing.
So the video, along with the book, in my view, if you're willing to really practice and do the right things, you can probably save yourself a lot of time and money from going to see a counselor. And you can probably put your marriage right back on track with the video and the book. Now, yes, sometimes it might take a little bit more. Some people are stubborn and selfish, and they don't want to really put the work in. But once you realize how amazing this is, I think most couples will want to do it.
Now, I do want to get into talking about personality and gender differences, but before we get into that, you write in your book that the greatest need for the husband is significance. Can you explain what you mean by husbands needing significance?
Well, men generally, okay, I'll explain the difference between significance and security. So if a man and woman were to go to New York, into the dark, deep slums of New York and the bad part of town, and it's midnight and they're staying in a junky hotel, and the woman's going to go for a walk by herself at midnight in that junky area of town all by herself, do you think she's going to want to go?
No.
Probably not. Would the man go for a walk by himself? Probably. He might look around the corner, but he probably would. Or if a man and woman that don't know each other are walking down the street together and they're going to cross each other in that dark slum area, who do you think is going to be more afraid of the other?
The wife.
She is wired by design to pay attention. In the Hebrew, when it says it's not good for the man to be alone, I'll make him a helpmeet. In the Hebrew, ezer kenegdo, ezer is the same word used for the Holy Spirit. If women knew who they really were, they wouldn't be competing. Ezer is the same word for the Holy Spirit. She has amazing spiritual intuition that men probably don't have. And they have a protection role. Kenegdo means she protects, not so much with her bronze, but with her brains. The frontal part of the lobe is wired for consequential thinking, safety, and security. She wants to protect the little ones. She even wants to protect her husbands. Most women say, take care, make sure. And most men say, go for it. What was I thinking? Men want to take the risk. We need to take risk in life, but you want to mitigate the risk. She was designed to complete him, to help him mitigate the risk. So her consequential thinking is going about safety and security. Another proof, little Johnny's climbing up a tree, and Mama Bear comes by and says, Johnny, 6 years old, you better get down from the tree, you're going to break a leg. He hadn't thought about breaking his leg until she mentioned the proverbial seed. Boom, he falls, breaks a leg. But she's worried about his safety and security. Papa Bear usually comes by and says, hey, great job, son. If you reach here and here, you can go higher. He wants to conquer. He wants to, explore. He wants to, that's his significance. But the number one person he wants to be significant to is his wife. He wants to be your hero. You tell me a man that doesn't want to be his wife's hero.
It seems like when you watch a lot of movies, and especially like movies like Braveheart, it's always around this theme that it's a battle to win, a beauty to rescue, and an adventure to live. And that really defines what manhood is all about when you watch these movies. Would you agree with that?
I'd say God's a romantic, like he rescues us, right? And the husband was designed to I mean, there's not a woman in the world that doesn't want to be fought for. She wants to know that she is his crowning jewel. She wants to know that he's going to fight for her. And what most men don't realize is they get the beautiful wife, and then they kind of stop fighting, meaning they start pursuing. They don't really pursue her heart. This is a lifelong pursuit of her heart. She wants to know that you cherish her for your whole life. And men do, but they think, okay, yeah, I told you when we got married that I love you. If it changes, I'll let you know. It's not something that men are always in tune with, but the man was designed to be loving his wife on a daily basis. And a woman is a barometer of a man's character. She knows if he's on track or not. If his behaviors are not kind, if they're not honest, if they're not of integrity, they're not compassion, they're not committed, they're not devoted, he's wandering off doing things he shouldn't be doing. She knows it. She can read his character very keenly. She's very sensitive. Women are very sensitive in every facet. Smell, sense, touch, character, everything. They were wired to be that sensitive. She lets her husband know. So I say, guys, you look at your wife in the eyes and you ask her, how we doing? How am I doing? How can I love you better? But the piece that the ladies don't know, they're also the fuel. They put the fuel in the jets. And when they put their fuel in his jets, he wants to go to the moon for her. Remember, he's not for himself. He wants to go for her and with her. But he likes it when she puts the fuel in his jets because it pumps him up.
Okay, so we've talked about the positive side of how men can be inspired by entertainment, with a battle to win, a beauty to rescue, and an adventure to live. What about TV shows that are really portraying men in a very negative fashion, where the patriarch of the home is this dull, overweight, stupid buffoon? How is that affecting men, and how is it affecting their marriages?
Right. Well, first and foremost, we have to look at the greatest creation of all. The number one creation of all is husband and wife, man and woman. There's no other creation made in God's image, and God is love. So if you can take out the leader, what happens to the rest of the world? If you can take out the way that the man was designed to love his bride, to rescue his bride, to cherish his bride, to be her hero, if you can take him out, if you can create, or if you can put lies in that man's head that causes him to be a dictator, oppressive, now he's not loving his wife. So the teeter-totter is in this direction. And then if you can put lies in females' heads that, we've got the victim pity party going on. We got to fight for our rights. So now the teeter-totter is going to go in the other way. Now we got the woman power thing. And what people don't realize, that's actually emasculating the men. So men were too much this way, and now we got too much this way. And Candace always said, where's all the good men? Well, it's only masculinity that fosters and validates femininity. And it's only femininity that fosters and validates masculinity. And the key word is foster. The key word is foster. We weren't given a kitchen table. We were given a tree. Right? We're mini creators. We're mini builders. We're made in his image to build, to develop. Well, God doesn't give you the perfect wife at the beginning. You develop her, and she develops you. It's your design as a man that will develop her as a woman. And it's her design as a woman that will develop you as a man. Now, I ask a lot of couples, who did God make first? Man. Who did he make last? Woman. Is one more important than the other? No, but there's an order of sequence. If you were to ask your wife, or if a man was to ask his wife to go for a dance and he puts his arm out, ask her to go for a dance, she puts her hand in his elbow. Side by side, but he made the offer.
Right.
He's the sender, she's the receiver. Check out the anatomy. There's an order. The man was to teach, but not preach. He was to teach by showing his wife what this amazing love is that he's been given to her. I asked a bunch of ministers one time, why did God give man and woman? Oh, she's my helpmate. What she can do for me. Wrong attitude. Yes, she is a helpmate. She's your teammate. But the key is that would be self-seeking. Love is not self-seeking. Love is not what you can do for me. Love is what can I do for you. He was given woman to love her, for her to receive that love and shine, reflected back to him and them both to their children. So it's only the masculinity. So every woman wants a confident man, a mature man, a man who takes initiative. Well, if he's passive, if he's a buffoon, if he doesn't know who he is, he doesn't necessarily need to draw strength from her, even though she does fill his jets. He needs to bring strength. A lot of women think, oh, I want my husband or man to be vulnerable. I would caution ladies on saying that, because women, they want a man to be open to her vulnerability. They want him to be sensitive, but not needy. They want him to be strong and sensitive. And if you think about it, they're looking for Christ in their husband. It says, husbands love their wives as Christ loved the church. It doesn't say wives love their husband. Who gave their life for their wife? The husband was designed to give his wife for his life. Here's an example. If you have the Titanic and it's going down, you seen the movie The Titanic? Let's pretend we got two captains, not one, we got two.
Okay.
Male and female. It's going down. Everybody's jumping on lifeboats. One lifeboat, room for one more person to get on the lifeboat. Man and woman captain looking at each other. Who do you think's going to say, you take the last spot on that lifeboat?
The man.
The man. Better be the man. And who do you think's going to accept his offer and be dropping tears down her face when she floats away, saying, wow, that's a man who loves.
Right. The
man is a leader, not because he puts himself first. He's the leader because he puts himself last. Me first loses. Me last wins.
Brent Taylor is a Lethbridge marriage coach and the author of His and Hers Greatest Need, available at hisandhers.ca. Brent, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
I'm Naveen Day. On behalf of all of us here at Bridge City News, thanks for watching.